Very good evening to all of you guys. Welcome to our channel Jindal.in. Just quickly let me know whether I'm audible enough and whether the screen is visible to you, so that we can begin with today's session. And today is test number 3 of Quant, as you all are aware, right? Yes. So yes, good evening, Kunal, Saiva. Just one of you just let me know, and yes, rest of you also join quickly. Yes. Okay, thank you, Kunal. So I am audible enough, and I think the screen is also visible to all of us. So you can start with the test. Okay, the link is already provided in the description uh, of this session. So the URL is courses.anujindal.in/learn. I think you all are aware about that. So if you just yes, good evening, Pratik. Good evening, Vishika. If you just click on the link, then you will be directed to this page, to this home page, and you can just see on the screen in the this green box in the left. It says crash course classes for RBI YouTube students. Okay, Quant Life Class 3 and 15th May, right? And 6 p.m. So just if you just click on this tab, इस tab पे अगर हम लोग click करेंगे, okay, so you will be directed to this. Yes, good evening, Taisin, Shankar. Okay, so यहाँ पे आप लोग you will be directed to this page, Quant Life Class 3, but this is live class. You have to go to the live test. So if you see these two navigation buttons, left and right, just click on this right navigation button. इस right button पे click करेंगे. Then just once, click only once, then you can see live Quant test 3, 15th May 2022, 30 marks, 30 questions and 25 minutes duration. So Aishna, questions are not at all same, they are all very different. I'm not getting your your query, because questions are not the same, questions are different. Okay, so if we just click on this take test, agar hum is take test, if you just go on this, simply click on this take test, and you will be directed to this page, to this instructions page. Okay, yes, good evening, Achal. Okay, so you will be directed to this instructions page, and then if we just start the test, then our timer will start automatically. Okay, so this is our quant test comprising of uh, 30 questions. So the link is active, as you all are aware, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So you have 3 hours to attempt the paper. Basically not 3 hours, 3 hour window, because paper is of 25 minutes only, but you have a 3 hour window. Based upon your convenience, you can attempt, and you can also analyze, you can also check the solutions in detail. Okay, paper at up, once you complete the paper, you are shown your score. Okay, and also you can view the explanations once you complete the this particular mock test. Okay, this is a sort of a sectional mock test, I would say. So those who are able to log in, they can start the test. Do not wait, you can just start your test, and the rest of you uh, who might not who may not be able to log in, you can ask your queries from me. I'll just guide you how you can log in. But I think since we have given so many tests now, I think there should not be a problem in logging, in the login part, and in starting the test. Okay, so my timer has started, but accordingly when you start the test, your timer will accordingly start. So maybe we can start our discussions at 6:40. I think that would be appropriate. 6:35 or 6:40, anywhere around that, because 25 minutes test, even if you start at 6:05, it would get complete by 6:30. Okay, so we can start our discussion at 6:35 or 6:40, depending upon when you complete your test. So as soon as you complete your test, you can just tell me in the chat box that you are done with it, so that I can come to know whether I can start with the analysis part or not, right? So many people are absent today, I don't know why. Okay, so if anybody has any doubt regarding how to start the test, you can ask me, but I think that would be very very clear, since we have already had 4 previous sessions. So I don't think that would be an area of concern. So 30 questions, 25 minutes and 30 marks, right? So I'm taking your leave for the moment, and I'll be joining back at 6:35 or 6:40, depending upon when you complete your tests, and then accordingly we can start the analysis. So in the meantime, if any sort of doubt query arises, then do post in the chat box. Okay, all the very best. Yes, so I think many of us are done with the test. So shall we start with the discussion or analysis? So basically solutions are already being provided. Once you complete the test, you get a test report, and also you get the solutions, you get the explanation, you get the correct answer, as well as if you look carefully in the bottom left of the screen, there must be a tab called explanation. So from there you can also read the entire explanation in detail. So as such, my role is not to explain each and every question here. I'll take up your particular doubts, if any. If majority people have some doubts on any particular question, that will be taken up, and moreover I'll be focusing upon which questions you should have attempted and which questions should have been left. Okay, what should have been the right strategy? Although we cannot say there is a single right strategy, but generally there are some questions which should be attempted in the first go, and the remaining questions should be attempted at last, right? Okay, so I think we can start with the discussion part. It's 6:40, so many of us uh, might have completed the test. Yes, Shivam, absolutely, that is only what I'm going to. Yes, Priyanka, we are working on that. You know, we'll shortly resolve this problem. Okay, Priyanka, don't worry. We'll shortly resolve this. Okay, okay. So now I'm starting with the solutions. You can just look at my screen, and simultaneously you can also look at your laptop screens. One and the same thing. Okay. So starting with this question number 1 to question number 4. So they were based on a puzzle, not a puzzle, basically it was a data interpretation. Okay, okay, so data interpretation questions, generally we recommend you that you attempt those questions in the last. So if you look at this first DI question, so although DI should be attempted at last, but this DI was not very difficult. If you might have attempted it, then you would have come to know that this was not a very difficult DI. It was a tabular DI, tabular data, which you could have derived from the information, and it was comparatively an easier DI, but nevertheless DI, it is your call, but generally we say you should go for DI at the end. Then question number 5 to 8, if you look at question number 5 to question number 8, they were again. Okay, so yes, yes, Priyanka, you can just follow Vishika's direction. She's saying there is a uh, yes, you can cross it. I did not get your point, Priyanka. Actually, I did not get your point. Okay, you can cross it. Just like I crossed it. So you are asking me the message which is being shown in the bottom left corner of the screen, na? That how many students have enrolled in the test. So you can just cross it. Cross कर सकते हो आप. Okay. Okay. Then this was question number 5 to question number 8. Again a DI, and this DI was a bit lengthy and a bit difficult also. It was lengthy and difficult also because the logic, जो इसका logic अगर click नहीं किया होगा तो आप solve भी नहीं कर पाए होगे. So this should have been skipped. Okay, last में time बचा होता, then you would have gone for it. Okay, so question 5 to question 8 you should have skipped in the first attempt. Then moving on, next question, question 9, which is a time and work question. So pipes and cistern, I have told in my session also that pipe and cistern is a subtopic under time and work. So the shortcut remains the same for pipes and cisterns as well. If you look at this solution, this question was a very simple question, and you should have gone for this question because I have discussed these type of questions in my session in detail. So those of you who might not have watched my sessions on different topics of quant and reasoning, you can go to our channel, you can go to the playlist. All the sessions are available there in the chronological order. Okay. Yes, Shivam, we will come to question. So Shivam is saying question 9 should be 66 by 7. Shivam, it would not be 66 by 7, it would be 66 by 3. Why I'm saying this? Because you had to calculate the remaining work. See, tab F was open for the entire duration of 25 minutes 30 seconds. Shivam, the solution is absolutely correct. You are not picking up the concept. आप concept नहीं pick कर पा रहे हो. See, it is saying that F is open for the entire duration. So the work done by tab F is 102 units. So now the remaining work is 66 units, which was done by tab E, and tab E would complete that work in 22 minutes, and which shows us that tab E was not open for the entire duration. So accordingly, that was the correct answer. Yes, question 12 we will discuss. Don't worry. So this was an easier question. You should have gone for it. Then question number 10. Again, this was an easier question based on a partnership, and I have told in my session also that partnership questions are generally not very difficult, because there is a single concept working here, that capital multiplied by time gives you the ratio of profit between the partners. Okay, so again, if you look at this solution, very simple solution. The only twisting part here was the commission aa gaya tha, so that might have caused some confusion, but again, if you look at the solution, it is self explanatory and very simple. Moving on to next question, question number 11. Again, a question from pipes and cisterns, and again, this question was not very difficult, although a different element was added in this question, that there was a obstruction in the tap, which some garbage, or you would say some dust might have accumulated in the tap, due to which it was not coming in the full flow. वो full flow में नहीं आ पा रहा था. So that is why uh, uh, accordingly the efficiency of the taps reduced, and accordingly we would have got our answer. Okay, so I think 11th must be very clear. Kunal is asking about 10th. So 10th, the equation formed is simply, see, Rajesh share is 2 lakhs minus x by 4. See, x by 4 is the commission. In the question it is clearly mentioned over here that rupees 2 lakhs, okay, this rupees 2 lakhs, it includes 1/4 of the profits as commission. So if profit is x, commission will be x by 4. So Rajesh share will exclude the commission को minus करना पड़ेगा, so it will be 2 lakhs minus 2 lakhs or 20 lakhs, whatever it is, minus x by 4, and Varun's share, it will be 40 lakhs. It would be twice of Rajesh. It is clearly mentioned twice. So 20 lakh into 2 is 40 lakh, and x by 4 into 2 is x by 2. That is very simple. Now if you add both of these shares, okay, दोनों के शेयर्स को हम लोग ऐड कर देंगे. सो इक्वेशन में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम है यहाँ पे. देयर इज सम मिस्टेक इन द इक्वेशन. ओके, इट शुड नॉट हैव बीन माइनस एक्स बाय 4, इट शुड हैव बीन माइनस एक्स बाय 2. तो कुछ मिस्टेक है इक्वेशन में, बट सोल्यूशन इज करेक्ट. The final answer is correct. There is some mistake in the solution, but the final answer is correct. Okay. Yes. So this question you do not require actually the options, Suraj. You could have done easily by forming the equation. Not a very difficult question. Then question number 12. Yes. So question number 12. A lot of people are asking, and these type of questions of simple and compound interest, which are installment based questions. So I have explained this very simple method or technique to solve such questions in very least possible time. So you can watch my session on simple and compound interest to learn this method. This is not the right time to explain the method again, because I have explained it in detail in my session. So you can go to my session and watch and learn the technique there. Okay. See, Krishan, what I did was I opened tab F for the entire duration. तो मैंने उसका पूरा का पूरा work निकाल लिया था. So the remaining work has to be done by tab E, ना. I calculated the entire work done by tab F. So remaining would be tab E. There is no issue in that question. Okay. Okay. So now this question number 12. So I have explained this method. In this method, what we do is, so if the rate of interest is 20%, 20%, if you convert it into fraction, it is 1 by 5. Okay. It means that if principal is 5, then 1 is your interest, and the total amount becomes 1 plus 5. Okay. It is equal to 6. Okay, now installment, one thing is installment and one thing is price. Okay, installment includes an element of interest, but the original price does not include an element of interest. Simple. Now if you look at there are two columns. I have framed price column and installment column. So in installment column, okay, so what I have written is 6. 6 represents your final amount, and then next row is 36, which is the square of 6. Okay, and then I have taken the LCM of 6 and 36, which is 216, and in the third row also it will be 216. Now in the price column, 5 represents my price, so 5, 25, 125. Just taking the subsequent powers, and then I've multiplied them by 36 and 6, because in the installment also I have multiplied it by 36 and 6. So accordingly I have got the total of my price as 455, and each installment is 216 units. These are all units. Okay, now 216 units are equal to 21,600. Okay, and now we have to calculate the cost price. So that is why I have calculated the value of 455 units. I hope this answers your question, and still if any doubt you can watch my session available on the channel. Now question number 13 says, okay, so yes Kunal, equation में थोड़ी गलती है. If you just add their both of the if you add both of their shares, you will get the answer. आपको आंसर मिल जाएगा उसमें clearly. Okay, question number 13, P, Q and R are, okay, three partners. Now again a question from partnership, but in this particular question if you look at the solution very smartly, if you would have approached this question, then you might have been able to solve this question in very least possible time. So it says that P is a working partner and takes 25 by 2%. 25 by 2% means 25 upon 200, which is 1 by 8. Okay, so 1 represents his salary and 8 represents the total profit. Now what you can do is you can convert this 1 by 8 into 5 by 40 by simply multiplying by 5. Now why I have done that, that will become clearer to you once you look at the below solution. So P's salary now becomes 5 and total profit now becomes 40. And what is the distributed profit? So 8 is the total profit, 1 was the salary, 8 minus 1, 7 is the distributed profit, but since we have multiplied by 5, so it is 35 units. So I had to make it equal to 35 units. That is why in the first place I converted 1 by 8 into 5 by 40. Okay, so this small things make a lot of difference in the examination. Now P's share would be 8, which is this share in the profit, plus his salary, which is 5, equal to 13. Now this 13 units would be equal to 7800, which P is receiving in totality from the business. So 1 unit becomes 600. Now Q's share is simply 12. So 12 multiplied by 600 gives you the answer as 7200. I hope this is very clear to all of us. Then after that, question number 14, a question from simple and compound interest. So if you look at this solution of this question, so this will not become clear to you until and unless you watch my session on simple and compound interest. So I'm again repeating here that do watch my session on simple and compound interest, because the fraction which I have mentioned here, d upon p, it is equal to r by 100 square. So this I have explained, its derivation I have explained in detail in my session. Although derivation is not important, very important, it is only important for conceptual clarity, but otherwise you would have to remember this formula also. Okay, so you can watch my session, then this method would become very clear to you. Okay, yes, that's what I'm telling Achal. You will get the solution if you watch my session on simple and compound interest available on our playlist. In that session I have explained this particular shortcut in detail. Okay, then after that, question number 15, a question from percentages, and this question was not difficult. I hope many of you might have got it correct. Okay, the only pain point here was that they were asking at least what percentage. So when these types of words, at least or at most, comes in the examination, then sometimes we get confused. But थोड़ा सा logically सोचेंगे, smartly सोचेंगे, then this is not a very difficult question to answer. So if you in this type of question, generally what we do, we assume You could have also take x, but it's better to take 100 or 1000. It makes our calculations simpler and easier to visualize the answer. Okay, so girls are 65, boys are 35. If the total is 100, then total absentees are 85. Now we want the least percentage of girls. It means maximum number of boys should be absent, and accordingly we got the required percentage. Okay, then 16, if a certain sum of money becomes 6400, 64,000 and 12, 1,25,000 in 5 years, find the principal. Again, this method I have also explained in my session on simple and compound interest. So now it becomes inevitable for all of you uh, to watch my session on simple and compound interest, because if you watch that session, a lot of your queries would get sorted regarding today's questions. Okay, so this type of question, if you can see in the diagram, in 2 year times it is become 64,000 and then 1,25,000. So there is a certain method. So if the years are same, in this case the years are different, 2 and 3. But if the years are same, then there is a different method. Otherwise, if the years are different, then there is a different method. Okay, so accordingly this question also, if you want to understand, you have to watch my session on simple and compound interest. Then question number 17, a question again from partnership and also employing the concept of percentages. It is more of percentages and average and ratio. Okay, so this question again, this is very self explanatory, and this was a very simple question. I think all of you should have got it right, and all of you should have attempted this question, question 17. Moving on, next question, question 18. Again a question from mixture and allegations, or you can say ratio proportion. And again this question was also not very difficult. If you would have logically approached this question step by step, then you would have got this answer. And if you just read the solution also, then you would easily understand it very thoroughly. I have explained the solution of this particular question, and you would easily understand it. So you have time till 9. You can revisit all these questions, their solutions, and and do a small self analysis after every test. That is really essential. Okay, question 19, a question from speed, distance and time. And this particular formula I have explained in my session on speed, distance and time. So basically, if you are given a certain speed, if you are given two speeds, let's suppose S1 and S2, and you are given the time difference due to those two different speeds, then you have to employ this particular formula. So in this particular question, we will get two equations, and if you equate those two equations, you will get the original speed, which comes out to be 12 kilometers per hour. But you have to calculate the distance. So simply, if you substitute the value of the speed, you will get the distance as 40 kilometers. Okay. Moving on, then question number 40. This was a question from percentages. Okay, so the important point in this question was simply, the question was asking you, if you look at the question asks you the percentage of students who failed. Okay, now they are asking you the percentage who failed. So the value, the parameter which they are asking, you assume it to be x. That is the best way. जो आपसे पूछ रहे हैं उसको x assume कर लो, because in this question if you would have assumed the number of students who have passed to be x, तब आपका आंसर नहीं आ पाता. ओके, तो आपका आंसर तभी आ पाता जब आपने नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स हु फेल्ड उनको आपने x अज्यूम किया होता. ओके, सो दैट वाज एसेंशियल. x अज्यूम करो, y अज्यूम करो, दैट इज इमटेरियल. ओके, सो since they were asking the number of the percentage of students who failed, so you should have assumed the number of students who failed to be x and those who passed to be 100 minus x. Then moving on, question 21. Two places A and B are 60 kilometers apart. Okay, so this was the question from speed, time and distance. So Saloni, if you want to clear the cutoff only of quant, so if you're talking about sectional cutoff of quant, so we have noticed in the previous few years in RBI Grade B that sectional cutoff is generally 25%. Okay. Now 25% simply means that if quant is of, let's suppose, how many marks, 30 marks, so 25% is 7.5. so at least 7.5 तो आपको स्कोर करना पड़ेगा, but scoring 7.5 marks will not guarantee selection because overall cutoff will be higher. So you should aim for 15 marks in quant. Now this 15 marks will change depending upon the difficulty level of the examination, but generally you should aim for 15 marks. I think generally we say this 15, at least 15 के लिए तो आप aim कर सकते हो, okay, but again it varies. So if you attempt 15 to 20 questions, I think that would be a good attempt, provided your accuracy is also good, okay. That is very very essential, because there is negative marking also. Now question 21, a question from speed, distance and time, and I have told you earlier also that if the distance is constant, then the ratio of the speed and the ratio of the distance is the same. So I'll highly recommend you that those of you who have not watched my previous sessions, do watch my previous sessions of quant and reasoning. Uh, that will clear majority of your concepts, okay. Then after that, question 22nd, okay, question 22nd is from the topic of ratio and proportions. So this question says that the A can complete 3/4 of the work, which means if A is completing 3 units, B is completing 4 units. So that is why the ratio is 3:4, and similarly the ratio of time. Now if you look at this equation of question 22nd, what I have written, A multiplied by 5 divided by 3 is equal to B multiplied by 6 divided by 4. Now A is the work done by you can say uh, units, maybe the hours worked by A and the hours worked by B, okay. Now why I have multiplied it by 5, because 5 is the time, okay, and I have divided, so A might and I have divided by 3. Now why divide by 3? Because in my session on time and work I have explained that in the denominator we generally take the work done. So if the work done by both of them would have been same, then our denominator would have become 1 and 1. So basically denominator would have been cancelled out. But since the work done by both of them are different, A is doing 3 units, let's suppose, and B is doing 4 units. So that is why we have taken the denominator. So once you have formed this equation, then this question was very simple. So the ratio of A and B is 9 by 10, which means that the total work will be 9 plus 10, 19 units, and it is given 10 days. So multiplied by 10, 190 units in total. Now 190 divided by 10. Why I have divided by 10? Because if you look at the ratio, A is to B is 9 is to 10. So B is doing 10 units. Okay, so 190 divided by 10 gives you the answer as 19 days, right? Moving on to next question, question 23rd. A question from uh, time and work, and again this question was again very very easy question, and the solution is also very very self explanatory, okay. So I think there should not be any problem in this particular question. We can directly move to question 24. Now this question was from the topic of averages and also from approximation. More than averages, this in this question you have to use the concept of approximation, because you do not need to take the exact values, but taking approximate values also we can solve such questions, okay. An approximation is there in our syllabus as well. Then after that, question 25. Now this question was from the topic of averages. Now how did let me explain the solution a bit for you. Now how do we calculate the average? Average is simply total score, total marks, whatever, divided by the total number of students. That gives us the average marks, right? So far so good. Now in this particular question, if you look carefully in the right hand side, okay, in the right hand side of the equation, so basically we are required to calculate the number of students. We are required to calculate the number of students. So Shubham 15.75 is a good score. Okay, so 15.7 yes, so 100 we are required to calculate the number of students. Okay, so number of students is in the denominator. So if you cross multiply, the average will come to the denominator and the total number of students will go to the right hand side. Okay, so simply what I have done is it is saying that the average of 92 candidates got reduced from 86 to 66. So what is the total reduction? It is 20 per student. So 86 minus 66 is 20. 20 per student. 20 multiplied by 92, which will give you 1840, something like that, and divided by the reduction in the average, which is 18.4. So this will give us the answer as the total number of students. Okay. Yes, DI was a bit harder. The first DI was simple. The second DI was a bit difficult. Okay. Moving on, next question, question 26. Now, question 26, 27, and 28. These three questions were based on this similar information. So this was as such not a difficult question, only there were some calculations, so this could have been a bit lengthier for you if you are slow in calculations. Okay, but otherwise the question was not as such very difficult, I would say. Okay, so this was easily attemptable, and the solutions are very much self-explanatory. You can just have a go through on these solutions. Okay, and after that, okay, yes, question 29. Now this question 29 was again from I would say a mixture alligation type of question, employing the same technique of mixture alligation. So what I have done here is, if you look carefully, it is saying the price of jeans is twice that of spiker. Okay, so 2 and 1 represent the prices twice. Okay, 2 and 1. Okay, and x represent you can say the average price or the bill. So the bill is increasing by 40%, so that is by 1.4x, and thus, and then simply I have done the cross addition and cross subtraction, the cross subtraction method, and it is saying that the number of the two brands have been swapped. So simply I have equated the equation x minus 1. I have taken the left hand side value of the first diagram and the right hand side value of the second diagram. Equating the two, I have got the value of x. If I have got the value of x, then I can get the ratio, and the ratio comes out to be 1:3. Again, not a very difficult question, a bit tricky question. Yes, thoda tricky the question, I can understand, thoda confusing to tha. Okay, but if you were thorough with the concept of mixture alligation, then you might have been able to do this question. And in the last question, number 30, uh, now this question was, I particularly feel this question was easier from the topic of mixture alligations, or you can say from the topic of ratio proportion. Okay, so this question was easily attemptable, and if you also go through the solution of this question, then it is again very self-explanatory. So the value of P, it comes out to be 40 liters. Okay, I don't think there should be any problem with this question as well. Yes, guys, so this was it from my side. Tomorrow we will be having reasoning test number 3 again at 6 p.m. So do join the session on time. If anybody has any sort of doubt right now, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can wind up the session for today. Now it's time for you to make your self-analysis, like which were your weak areas today, in which areas you perform better. Okay, all those sort of analysis you can do for your own. You can spend some time, 15-20 minutes, for analysis purpose. Okay. Yes, if anybody has any sort of doubt, you can ask me now. If not, then we can wind up the session today. Okay, and guys, do give your feedback also in the comment section of these sessions. You can leave your feedbacks, whatever feedback, positive, negative, in the comment section of my videos. That would be highly appreciated from my side. Okay. Okay, so I think there are no more doubts. I'm not getting any doubts, so I am assuming everything is very clear. And also, if any doubt is left, you can post your doubts in the comment section of this video. I would answer your doubts. Okay, chaliye, so all the very best, take care, and have a nice day. We will be meeting again tomorrow. All the very best.